Daniel never looked back. The underground control room remained silent behind him as he climbed the narrow staircase toward the surface. The iron key still rested inside his pocket. Another key now lay beside it, smaller, older. Its metal surface carried a faded brass plate. Only 4 words had been engraved. Property of Ashcroft Estate. The same family name appeared once again. Ashcroft House, Apartment 406, the underground archive. Everything continued leading back to the same forgotten place. When Daniel finally reached daylight, the abandoned apartment building stood exactly as before. Cars passed along the street. People walked nearby. Nobody seemed aware of what existed beneath their feet. Daniel drove home without speaking. The folder marked Subject 217 remained on the passenger seat. He wanted to burn it instead. He placed it inside a locked drawer. That night, he could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the surveillance room. Thousands of monitors, thousands of faces, thousands of lives being watched. At exactly 2:11 a.m., his phone vibrated. Unknown number, no caller information, only a photograph. Daniel opened the message. It showed an old Victorian house standing alone in the middle of a dead forest. Heavy fog surrounded every wall. The front gate hung open. Every window remained completely dark. Below the image appeared one sentence. Nobody has lived here for 53 years. Daniel frowned. The next message arrived immediately. Someone turned on the lights tonight. His heartbeat slowed. He enlarged the photograph. One upstairs window glowed faintly. Warm yellow light. Exactly like the room inside apartment 406. A third message appeared. Coordinates. No explanation. Only GPS coordinates. Daniel copied them into his map. The location appeared almost 80 kilometers outside the city. Deep inside, protected woodland. No nearby roads, no nearby villages, nothing. He searched public records the following morning. The coordinates matched an abandoned property officially known as Hollow Creek Manor. Another strange coincidence. The owner remained listed as Ashcroft Estate. Daniel searched every available archive. The official history made no sense. The mansion had supposedly burned down during the winter of 1973. Fire department records confirmed total destruction. Insurance documents confirmed complete collapse. Satellite photographs showed nothing, only trees. Yet, the photograph on his phone clearly showed a perfectly intact mansion. He contacted the local historical society. An elderly volunteer answered. When Daniel mentioned Hollow Creek Manor, silence filled the phone. Finally, the old man quietly asked, "Who told you about that place?" Daniel hesitated. "I found an old photograph." The volunteer lowered his voice. "Forget it. It isn't there anymore," Daniel insisted. "The house still exists." The old man laughed softly. "No. People think they see it. They always come back saying the same thing." Daniel asked, "What do they say?" Another long silence followed. Then the volunteer answered, "They say the house was waiting for them." The call disconnected. Daniel stared at the screen. No signal. His phone battery suddenly dropped from 70% to 1% before shutting down completely. A final notification appeared. Unknown number. One last photograph. This time, someone stood inside the upstairs window. The figure looked directly toward the camera. Its face remained hidden, but one detail caught Daniel's attention immediately. The figure held the same black notebook from apartment 406. Daniel rushed toward his desk. He unlocked the drawer. The folder remained inside. But something had changed. A new page had appeared. Fresh ink, fresh handwriting. Only one sentence. "The owner has returned home." Daniel felt the room become colder, without electricity. The lights above him flickered once, then twice. Then, someone knocked on his apartment door. 3 slow knocks, exactly the same rhythm. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel looked through the peephole. Nobody stood outside. Only an old envelope rested on the floor. He opened the door carefully. The hallway remained empty. The envelope contained only one object, a rusted brass house key. Attached to it hung a small metal tag, Hollow Creek Manor. Daniel looked back inside his apartment. The folder on his desk had opened by itself. Another sentence slowly appeared beneath the first. The house has no owner until someone enters. Daniel left before sunrise. The strange brass key rested inside his jacket pocket. The old photograph remained open on the passenger seat. Every few minutes he glanced toward it. Nothing changed. The house still stood inside the fog. The single upstairs window remained illuminated. The deeper he drove into the forest, the weaker the road became. Modern pavement slowly disappeared beneath cracked asphalt. Then gravel. Finally, only a narrow dirt road remained. His GPS suddenly froze. The screen turned completely black. Seconds later, it restarted. Instead of directions, only one sentence appeared. Keep driving. Daniel pressed the accelerator. The forest around him felt unnaturally silent. No birds, no insects. Even the wind had disappeared. After another 15 minutes, the trees suddenly ended. The abandoned mansion stood directly ahead. It looked exactly like the photograph. Large stone walls, broken balconies, dark windows, one light upstairs, warm, still burning. Daniel parked beside the rusted gate. A weathered wooden sign leaned against the fence. The faded letters barely remained visible. Hollow Creek Manor below it. Someone had carved another message much later. Do not knock. Daniel pushed the gate open. The metal screamed across the silence. No reaction came from inside the house. The front garden had completely disappeared beneath weeds. Old statues leaned sideways. The fountain had long dried out. Yet, fresh footprints crossed the dirt. Only one set. They led directly toward the front entrance. Daniel followed them carefully. Every footprint looked recent, as if someone had entered only minutes earlier. The enormous wooden door stood slightly open. No lock, no chain, just darkness waiting beyond. Daniel stepped inside. The smell surprised him. He expected mold, dust, rot. Instead, the air smelled like old books, fresh coffee, burning wood. Someone had been living here. The entrance hall stretched upward beneath a massive chandelier. Its candles burned quietly. Impossible. No electricity reached this place anymore. The fireplace glowed with fresh embers. A grandfather clock ticked steadily. Daniel slowly called out, "Hello?" His voice echoed through the mansion. No answer. He walked deeper inside. The furniture remained covered with white cloth, except one chair. It stood uncovered beside the fireplace. Candles impossible, no electricity. Fireplace, fresh embers. Grandfather clock ticked steadily. Daniel called out, "Echo mansion." No answer, deeper inside. Furniture covered, white cloth. One chair uncovered, fireplace. A steaming cup of coffee rested on the small table beside it. Daniel reached toward the cup. Still warm. Someone had poured it only moments ago. A floorboard creaked upstairs. Daniel immediately looked upward. Nothing, only darkness beyond the balcony. Then, a door slowly closed somewhere above him. He climbed the staircase. Each step produced the same quiet creak. The upstairs hallway seemed endless. Portraits covered every wall. Old families, children, servants, visitors. Daniel stopped. Every portrait showed different people, except one face. Again and again, a young man appeared in nearly every painting, always standing somewhere in the background, watching. His face looked painfully familiar. Daniel stepped closer. It wasn't exactly him, but it could have been his older brother, or perhaps his father. Every painting became newer. The decades changed, the clothes changed, the houses changed. Only that same man remained, always watching, always standing behind everyone else. Daniel reached the final portrait, unlike the others. This canvas remained unfinished. Only the background had been painted. The chair, the fireplace, the same room downstairs. One empty figure waited in the center. No face, no body, only rough pencil outlines. A fresh paintbrush rested beneath the frame. Still wet. Daniel slowly whispered, "No." A voice answered quietly behind him. "You're almost finished." Daniel spun around. The hallway remained empty. The voice continued, "It only needs your face." Every portrait suddenly turned toward him, not the paintings themselves, the people inside them. Hundreds of painted eyes now stared directly at Daniel, without warning. Every candle inside the hallway went out. Complete darkness swallowed the mansion. Only one light remained, the same upstairs room. Its door now stood open. Someone waited inside. Daniel stood motionless outside the open doorway. The single room at the end of the hallway remained illuminated. Warm yellow light spilled across the old wooden floor. Every other room inside the mansion remained completely dark. He slowly stepped forward. The closer he came, the quieter the house became. Even the ticking grandfather clock downstairs had stopped. The room looked strangely ordinary. A wooden writing desk stood beside the window. Bookshelves covered the walls. Fresh fire burned inside the fireplace. Someone had been living here. Yet thick dust covered every corner. Time itself seemed broken. Other rooms, completely dark. Ticking grandfather clock stopped quieter house. Strangely ordinary room. Wooden writing desk, bookshelves, fresh fire. Living here, thick dust every corner. Time itself seemed broken. Daniel noticed another cup of coffee resting on the desk. Still warm, beside it lay an open journal. His hands trembled as he picked it up. The handwriting immediately looked familiar. Not his, not the older Daniel's. The final page carried only one sentence. "If you are reading this, I have already become part of the house." Daniel turned another page. There were no more entries, only an old family photograph tucked inside the journal. The picture showed the mansion over 50 years earlier. Several people stood on the front steps. Daniel looked carefully. The man standing in the center froze him. It was his father, young, smiling, standing beside the original owners of Hollow Creek Manor. On the back of the photograph, someone had written, "The new caretaker." Daniel whispered, "My father." A quiet voice answered behind him. He accepted the house. Daniel turned. An elderly man stood near the fireplace. Gray hair, dark coat, calm eyes. He looked neither alive nor dead, only tired. "I've been waiting for you." Daniel stepped backward. "Who are you?" The old man smiled sadly. "I don't remember my name anymore." The house took it. Daniel stared silently. The old man slowly walked toward the window. "This house is different. It cannot be abandoned. It always belongs to someone." Daniel shook his head. "There are no owners." The old man looked directly into his eyes. There never were. Only caretakers. The room suddenly became colder. The old man pointed toward the wooden floor. Daniel noticed faint scratches carved into the old boards. Hundreds of names, thousands, some nearly erased by time, others looked fresh. His flashlight illuminated the final line, blank. Only today's date had already been carved. The old man spoke quietly. "The house waits. It chooses," Daniel whispered. "Chooses who?" "You." Silence filled the room. Then, the entire mansion groaned. Every wall vibrated. The bookshelves slowly moved aside. Hidden behind them stood another door. Small, black, no handle, only a brass plate. Observation room. Daniel's heartbeat quickened. The same words again. Observation, archive. Apartment 406, storage unit 217. Everything connected, the old man continued. The house isn't watching you, it protects something. Daniel slowly approached the black door. The brass key inside his pocket became warm, not cold, warm, as though inviting him. Before he could touch the lock, something enormous struck the wall from the opposite side. The entire room shook violently. The old man's smile disappeared. His voice became frightened for the first time. "It found us." A second impact followed, this time. A crack appeared across the black door. Dark liquid slowly seeped through, not blood, something thicker, moving by itself. The old man stepped backward. No, it should still be asleep. Another deafening impact echoed. The brass plate fell onto the floor. The crack widened. Something breathed behind the door. Deep, slow, ancient. Daniel looked toward the old man. He had vanished. Only the journal remained beside the fireplace. The final blank page slowly filled with fresh handwriting. "Run." Daniel grabbed the journal. He turned toward the hallway, behind him. The black door finally began opening. Before he could see what waited inside, the mansion went completely dark.